Yo, welcome back to the Homies Tribune. It's me, Mike Gam, as your host, as usual, speaking to the homies. If it's your first time tuning in, if you have tuned in, do you already know, man, the show wouldn't be right without the infamous red cup, okay? Mm, uh, uh. Don't worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup, people, okay? Just be productive today, all right? So let's get on into this thing. Let me see if y'all can hear this.
Giannis, he was doing an interview with Sam Amick of The Athletic and said this as a Buck staffer walked by, quote, if we don't win this year, would you get fired? Do you have it in the back of your mind? What is it this year if it doesn't go well? That's what he's saying to Staffer. Yeah, if we don't win a championship, I might get traded. Yeah, this is the job we live. This is the world that we're living in. It's everybody. Okay.
So if you couldn't hear it, hopefully you could. But basically, Giannis was doing an interview, and and to sum it up, he basically was saying if he don't get it done this year, meaning the Bucks, if they don't win a championship, it's a possibility that he might get traded. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that? What's your thoughts on that? Do you feel that the Bucks don't win, Giannis might get traded? I was watching whose show was that? Gil show, and B Jennings he basically said he would have to go there and see what the vibe is like what's going on, what's in the air, what's the atmosphere, because for most everybody know that Milwaukee loves Giannis, you know what I'm saying? So for Giannis to say something like that, it raised eyebrows. Like, what's really going on in Milwaukee? Why is Giannis saying this? Why does he feel like this? Because he wasn't saying this, years prior. You know what I mean? Um, but how do you feel about that? Do you feel that he might get traded if it don't go? Me personally, him saying that, I think it's a possibility he might get traded. If you look at the style of the way Giannis play, don't get me wrong, they inquired players and they set everything up like this, but I think the best way to put it, I seen Rich Paul talking about players, they might have a bag on them, like, off, oh man, get 20 for you, and offensively, they could go off, which is good. But the problem is, do you fit into a character in an organization, on a team? Do you fit in a role? Are you going in the direction that we're going? And if I'm looking at the way Giannis play, and if I'm looking at the Bucks, just me watching them preseason and seeing the players they have, he doesn't really fit the role that Rich Paul was talking about in the NBA, like on the Bucks squad. He doesn't really fit in that role to me. He would do better off. He'll do better off somewhere like Detroit, Brooklyn right now, Philly, places like that. It seems like that for me, the way the Bucks play, uh, even having Dame, Giannis needs the ball in his hand 90, 95% of the time to really be an offensive presence on the team. You know what I mean? And everybody else, if you look around at the team that they have, it's they have a lot of team players, like a lot of swing, okay, pull. Even all the way to Brook Lopez could shoot the three. Giannis, not so much shooting the three, but his game is give me the ball, I'm gonna go bully him. I'm gonna run through him. I'm taking it full court, full steam, get to half court, two dribbles, I'm trying to dunk on you, which is great. We're not saying that he's not a great player, but it goes back to what Rich was saying. You have to fit in the role. Can you collaborate? I like how he put that. Can you collaborate with other players? And when they won a championship, they needed him to be that player. But now that they have Dame and they have other young players coming in, he don't really fit in that role like that. And I think he could sense it. I think he could sense the way that they're going. So I think this is why you say a quote like that, like, yo, if I don't win a championship this year, I could be traded. Just looking at the Bucks, to me, he doesn't really fit in the system. You know what I mean? Again, I think he'll do better in Philly. I think he'll do good in Brooklyn. Detroit. Uh, and the reason why I say these places because it's like Detroit, they got an all-star, you know what I'm saying? Philly got an all-star, Brooklyn got an all-star, but they need somebody like him that could put the ball, that could really be an offensive presence. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, you fit into this system. Yeah, go ahead and play bully ball and do what you do. As far as the Bucks organization, it looked like they're playing a lot of, swing it, pull, make the extra pass. And Giannis is kind of not like that. Even when the defense claps on him, he's not really a player that's like, okay, the defense is collapsing on me. I'm gonna swing it like in Dallas where you have somebody like Kyrie who the defense gonna collapse on me when I penetrate. But guess what? I'm about to swing it out. Luka could pull. I'm gonna swing it out. Clay could pull, which leaves them wide open. Giannis is kind of like yeah, like I got two players on me. I'm still gonna try to go through it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I think he could feel that energy in the air. It just might be that time for him to. If you feel like that, and me personally, just watching, I think it might be time for him just to look somewhere else for a new home. That's just my opinion. I know people love Giannis. I'm not saying he can't play, but can you collab with other players? Even with it just him and Dame is for Dame to be productive. It didn't. Like Dame wasn't really productive to me until Giannis was hurt last year. You know what I mean? Where the ball is okay, he's our guy. He's our guy. We going with Dame. Until then, it seemed when he was playing with Giannis, it seemed like he was being very passive, very, okay, I ain't trying to do too much. I'm not doing what they inquired me to do. Again, I think if you acquire a player, you're doing for, and we know Dame. Dame is a guy that could damn near pull up from the logo. We need you to hit big shots. We need you to pull the three. We need you to cook. And I feel like with somebody like a Giannis, where the ball is in his hand most of the time, he couldn't really do that. And I feel like the young players that they're getting, everybody is kind of like that, where it's you could everybody could pull the three. If this making sense to y'all, like okay, Dame could cook. Maybe he can swing it again, swing. Okay, back to that, boom, pull. Giannis not really that player. He's a bully ball player. He's not really a swing it, or even allowing somebody else to really like shine. What he been? I mean, and I get it. He's been a guy in Milwaukee for a long time. But for you to say that, you must be feeling something in the atmosphere. But let me know y'all thoughts. Do y'all feel if the Bucks don't win it, do you guys feel like they will get rid of Giannis, or do you think do you think he's tripping? Like, do you think it's just like, nah, he's overthinking it. The Bucks are going to keep him. He's done so much for the organization. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, man. Like, comment, subscribe. The Homies Tribune, me, Mike Gam. The ones who have been commenting, I appreciate it. The ones who have been watching, sincerely appreciate it. Thank you, man. And I'm out. Peace.